Hey crochet crew. I know it's crochet. Today is the double crochet video. This is it. This is the double crochet. It's basically just like two single crochets stacked on top of each other, but you will need a hook, some yarn, not this yarn, a hook, some yarn. This is like my second video ever, so it's gonna be good. And I don't even know where to look. The camera's right there, but I keep looking. Let's do this. Today we're making this, which is double crochet. It's gonna be a little different from the single crochet that we made last time. So you can see it's like a much larger stitch. I've got my crochet hook, my 6mm J Boyer again. And then this time I have some fancy scissors. Let's get started. Just like in the last video for the single crochet, you're gonna create your chain until you get we're gonna do 18 today. We're gonna chain 18. Okay, so once you have your 18 chains, this time, instead of going into the second chain from hook, which is gonna be here, I know it was like a little confusing in my last video, but like, so this is your first chain. Second chain from hook is gonna be here. This time, because we're doing a larger stitch and we're doing the double crochet, and 2 chains is gonna count for 1 double crochet, we are actually gonna go into this third chain here, the third chain from the hook. So to get this started, you're gonna yarn over, insert your hook into that chain, yarn over and pull the yarn through. Now you have 3. Yarn over, and you're just gonna pull through these first 2 stitches, and then yarn over again and pull through the last 2 loops. So again, yarn over, insert your hook into that loop, pull the yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through final 2. Again, yarn over, insert hook, pull that yarn through, yarn over again, pull through 2, yarn over again, pull through final 2. So they're gonna look like this. You're gonna have like a little bit of space in between these things. As we keep going down this chain, we're going to continue all the way down for 16 stitches. This is the end of my chain 16. So essentially what's going to happen is, if you're doing a single crochet, you want to chain 1 more than you need the stitch count to be. If you're doing double crochet, you want to do 2 more than you want the stitch count to be. Once you have that base double crochet done, to get to your next row, you're going to chain 2 this time, turn your work over, and then we're going to do it all over again. Only this time we're going into 2 loops here instead of the 1 from the chain. So you're going to yarn over, insert your hook into those 2 stitches, yarn over again, pull the yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through final 2. Again, yarn over, insert hook, pull the yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through final 2. You just keep going, but I'm going to show you this end down here. once you are at the end here and you're double crocheting into that 2 chain that you started with, just insert your hook into that corner loop, pull the yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over again, and pull through final 2. The chain 2 as your double crochet, sometimes it can look a little weird on the end and you don't really know like where to insert your hook. So basically I gauge it by, if this is my last stitch before the end chain, see how this kind of like this little twist right here, like right after this hole here, I kind of just insert my hook into that next like opening. Sometimes it can get difficult like inserting your hook into that space. So what I like to do is I like to yarn over and then I use the pointy end here to kind of bury my hook in there. And then you can just proceed as normal. It can get confusing. Like I like to go through and just recount my stitches and make sure that I have the same amount in both rows when you first start. Like that's how I was able to figure out like what the last stitch was, because sometimes I thought I had it and then I didn't. Just keep counting and then eventually it'll just come naturally to you. Yeah, so that's the double crochet. This will eventually turn into this, and this is, again, I think this is 16 across, but then like, I don't know, 16 by 8. The double crochet, your rows are kind of going to count for, like each row of a double crochet is going to count for 2 rows of single crochet. So if this is 16 rows, this is 8 rows, you get it. So it's a double, single, double, single, double. Aren't these scissors pretty? Ooh. Also, as an alternative to using the chain 2 as your starter stitch, which is what I do personally, you can also not count that. So let's call it like a ghost stitch. And then you can yarn over and insert your hook into that first stitch that the chain is coming from. And then instead of the chain counting as your first double crochet is actually in that stitch with your chain. And then you just kind of continue down the line. But then I don't know, personally, I prefer to just use my chain as my stitch. But, you know, personal preference. Hopefully this was helpful. Like or subscribe below in the thing. I still haven't figured that out yet. And I don't really have like a sign off, so I'm just gonna do this again.